Hi, carrying on from my last video, this is another lamp out of that box of lamps that I pulled down from the loft. It's been up there a few years and I had forgotten about them. I rediscovered them a few weeks ago. It's only today I thought, well, I'm going to have a little sit down and sort through them, because I didn't accidentally, but I picked up one that happened to be laying on the top in that box, and I thought, oh, I mean, that's quite an unusual one. So I looked through, and yes, there was several unusual ones. Well, seeing this one, you might think, well, 150 watt, what is special about that? Well, it brought back memories. Now, I always say when I was young, and yeah, I was young one day, long time ago, and in England there was a shop called Woolworths. Don't see it now, it's gone. And in fact, the true Woolworths went years ago. It was like rebranded under the same name, but as far as I'm concerned, it wasn't Woolworths. The Woolworths I remember was a large floor on ones I remember were on ground level. There was one in Morden, Surrey, in Wimbledon, areas where I used to live. And as a kid, going into Woolworths was always a treat. You'd walk through the whatever front door. There were several, about 3 or 4 entrances. It was quite a large shop where the Morden one was, and so the Wimbledon one. And as you walked through, on the left hand side was the ice cream counter, and that always took a job passing by without actually buying an ice cream. They sold ice cream by Lions. Lions made ice cream. A brand I don't think you can get now. I think it was taken over by Nestle, and they've done lovely chocolate ices. Anyhow, finally got past that. In the store was counters divided by little glass partitions, and although there was a lot of uninteresting things there, they sold a whole range of stuff. I normally made a beeline for the electric counter, which was at the back on the right hand side. And once got there, they had displays of lamps, plugs, anything which would have been handy to a do-it-yourself merchant or someone that would do things. They did electric doorbells. They were all the rage then. And it was quite interesting. The lamps range from normal domestic types down to the ones used in motor vehicles, mainly the side tail lights. Anyway, I go off the subject. This lamp which we're looking at now is in fact a genuine lamp which was sold by Woolworths. The quality of their lamps was always thought to be a bit dodgy. I don't know why. They were always single coil. This might have been the reason. People expecting to get extra brilliance out of these lamps didn't get this, but they were certainly much cheaper, and as far as I'm concerned, quite a well-made lamp. They were in fact made by some of the big manufacturers, and I'm pretty sure Splendor lamps were one of the suppliers of these lamps. So much so that when I was doing my job, working for a GPO, which it was called in those days, installing phone systems and the like, we went to their works in Merton, and I'm pretty sure I saw boxes there that were due to go to Woolworths. It was a long time ago, so my memory is perhaps not too good. I believe other large lamp makers made lamps for them. Anyhow, this is one that I said. Now let's have a look at the etch. Now I'm glad to get this because this one actually shows a fairly good etch. Excuse me. There's the etch. I will fill in the bits that were blank. The name on it is Sunshine, and that was the name that FW Woolworths used to sell their lamps in Great Britain. You've got the normal voltage and the wattage. England. I don't know what's on the top there. Oh, made. It says made in England. Unfortunately, it's not a perfect etch, but it's enough to tell you that it is a Sunshine lamp. I'm well pleased to get this example. And there we are. It's about a, I think it is rated at 150 watts, and it is single coil. All of their lamps were single coil. This one is, as you can see, is unfused. There's no fuse in there whatsoever. It's a well-made lamp. As I say, if it was made by one of the big companies, it would be. And it's a worker. Now I will show you it working. I'm not going to put it on full power. I hope it works. As I say, I hadn't had it working for many years. Turn that off, and we'll slowly bring it up. As you can tell by the filament wreath, it's single coil. It's also got, I can see, a number on the lamp itself, which looks like, the code looks like, turn it around, looks like 735, but I'm using a bit of guesswork. No, I think it is. I think it either says 135 or 735. Now my mate is very good at knowing codes on lamps, and if he sees this video, he might say, oh, I know what that one is. But anyhow, that's the lamp. It's not on full brilliance. I tend not to wind them right up. Lamp on its side. It's got a nice long neck. These ones at that age did have fairly long necks, as you can see. The neck I refer to is this part here. It's quite reminiscent of the American lamps. Anyhow, any questions please ask. I'm going to turn this off. I'll try and get back to you with an answer. That code, I say, my mate will probably know the year it was manufactured. He's going to go back a few years. Okay, it's not a vintage pip-top lamp, but nevertheless it is fairly old, and it shows a bit of history, if only the history of FW Woolies or Woolworths. The W stood for Winfield. Winfield was also a brand name that Woolworths used. And oh yes, before I go, Sunshine was aided and abetted by another name which came out after Sunshine, and it was sold alongside Sunshine, called Vesta. Vesta, Vesta lamps. And these two are obviously made by the same companies that made the sunshine lamps. Why they brought that name out as well, I don't know. Probably a selling idea. But somewhere I've got a Vesta lamp as well. And I'll probably put one up in the past. But if anyone sees these lamps and wonders where they came from F W Woolworths, a shop which has been missed. I will tell you a little story about Woolies as well. A naughty story. I think when I was a toddler I pinched a drawer knob from Woolies. I'm pretty sure I did. I think I was probably I wasn't a terror, but perhaps I, for some unknown reason, wanted to pick up, it was either a doorknob or a drawer knob. If I remember rightly, it was a little round knob which you screwed onto a drawer. Why I took it, I don't know, but I think I did. Anyhow, I thought I'd tell you that little story. Anyway, any questions please ask, and yeah, I'll try and get back to you. Right, thanks again. I'm looking forward to opening my parcel. That I had to interrupt the first video I put up on this lamp. It was the postman, he's got a parcel for me, so I'm going to see what it is. Anyhow, catch you all again soon. Thanks for watching. Thank you.